The Sonnet Echo 21 Thunderbolt 5 SuperDock is Sonnet's flagship follow-up to the Echo 20 Thunderbolt 4 SuperDock. And at first glance, honestly, you might mistake it for the Thunderbolt 4 SuperDock because it looks virtually the same on the top and on the bottom. But we're going to compare these two side by side so I can show you all the differences here in just a second. Now, one of the key differences that you're going to notice is the presence of the fan on the side, and that's definitely a big deal because docks in general run pretty warm, and when you add an NVMe SSD like this thing has, it's going to get even warmer. Now, as a pretty big stickler against fan noise, I was worried about this at first, but it's almost inaudible unless your ear is close to the dock itself. Now, on the opposite side, you have the air intake, and this brings in the cool air, and the opposite side, the exhaust fan, blows out the warm air. So on the front panel, the big difference with the Thunderbolt 5 SuperDock, micro SD slot, and an extra USB-C port that can deliver up to 15 watts of power. Here you can see that air intake on the Thunderbolt 5 SuperDock with the Kensington lock on both. And on the opposite side, the Thunderbolt 5 SuperDock of course has your exhaust fan, no such thing on the Thunderbolt 4 version. Now here's where we see the big differences. You get 3 Thunderbolt 5 ports instead of Thunderbolt 4 ports, with the uplink port being able to deliver 140 watts of power to that host computer. Now you'll also notice you get a full-size DisplayPort connection on the Thunderbolt 5 SuperDock, no such port on the Thunderbolt 4 version. You'll also notice 10 gigabit Ethernet instead of 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, along with upgraded high-resolution capable audio ports. So yeah, on the rear, pretty substantial upgrade compared to the Thunderbolt 4 version. Now on the bottom, they both look virtually identical. You have the M.2 SSD access plate, but you do get much faster SSD speeds thanks to Thunderbolt 5. We'll talk about that in a second. And back to the top, like I mentioned earlier, these look virtually indistinguishable. There's a little bit difference with the logo there, but it's almost indistinguishable. So let's peer into system information to check out the details of the Thunderbolt 5 connectivity. So your uplink, 80 gigabits per second, double the speed of Thunderbolt 4, of course. And then you have 3 different downstream ports. Now you may think this is odd because there's only 2 downstream physical Thunderbolt 5 ports on the SuperDock, but Sonnet tells me that that third port is actually linked to the HDMI/DisplayPort connectivity. So it's not actually a physical Thunderbolt port, even though the system information details may lead you to believe so. And of course, this being Thunderbolt 5, it supports bandwidth boost, which dynamically reallocates some of that downstream lane capacity to the upstream lane when necessary, for instance, when connecting high bandwidth displays. That is, displays with high resolution and high refresh rates. Now, when connecting to a display from the dock using HDMI, you're going to get a max of 4K at 60 Hz, as you can see here. But when connected via DisplayPort, you can see you get up to 120 Hz refresh rate, as you can see there. But when connected via Thunderbolt 5, I can max out this monitor 240 Hz. In here, you can see the UFO test website where I'm able to test the frame rate when connected via the Thunderbolt 5 SuperDock to the Asus OLED 240 Hz 4K display. Now, if you want detailed information on what monitor configurations are actually supported, definitely check out the document over at Sonnet's website. As you know, it can be a little bit convoluted when it comes to macOS display support. So on the bottom of the dock, you'll find the M.2 SSD cover plate, and I'm going to show you what it's like to install the M.2 SSD inside of the dock. So the first thing you want to do, obviously, is just unscrew the cover plate, remove that. And you can see the thermal pad there. It's actually one on both sides to help keep the SSD cool. I have a 2 terabyte Western Digital Black SSD installed inside of here. Now I wanted to do a comparison, so I put this same SSD inside the older Thunderbolt 4 SuperDock. You can see the internal SSD speeds here for read and write. And now compare that to the Thunderbolt 5 SuperDock. You can see how much more bandwidth you have access to. It's basically quadruple the read and write speeds of the Thunderbolt 4 SuperDock for the internal SSD. But what about when connecting a Thunderbolt 5 SSD externally? Well, here it is with the Thunderbolt 4 SuperDock. You can see the read and write speeds there. But obviously the Thunderbolt 5 SuperDock is going to unlock that Thunderbolt 5 SSD. Here are the results for that. And you can see it is a much faster. You're really getting all that bandwidth that is available to you with Thunderbolt 5. So some major differences between the Thunderbolt 4 SuperDock and Thunderbolt 5 SuperDock, thanks to the added bandwidth of Thunderbolt 5. So now I'm going to connect my Glyph Atom EX40 high-performance USB 4 NVMe SSD, which is capable of up to 4,000 megabytes per second. And I connect it to my Thunderbolt 4 port on the Thunderbolt 4 SuperDock. Here are the read and write speeds, as you can see there. Not bad, right? For that external Glyph Atom EX40. But watch what happens when I connect this thing to my Thunderbolt 5 SuperDock. You're going to see the difference here. And you'll notice that write speeds in particular are much better when connected to the Thunderbolt 5 SuperDock. So one of the nice things about the Glyph Atom EX40 is that you can connect it to just a regular USB-C port, USB 3.2 port here on the front. And you can see you can get connectivity there. It's not going to be as fast as when connected to a USB 4 port, but you have the flexibility of being able to connect it to either. Just in case you're running short on Thunderbolt ports. Now, another advantage of the Thunderbolt 5 SuperDock is with Ethernet connectivity. So here is the Thunderbolt 4 version. You can see that maxed out at 2.5 gigabit Ethernet here. And depending on what you're doing, oftentimes 2.5 gigabit Ethernet is more than enough, right? But I do have 2 gigabit Ethernet from my ISP. You can see the speed there that I get when connected. But with the Thunderbolt 5 SuperDock, Sonnet upgraded to a new Marvel chipset, which affords 10 gigabit Ethernet with relatively low power overhead. So you can see that maximum link here, 10 gigabits per second. And that does make a difference in real world connectivity. For instance, like I said, I have 2 gigabit Ethernet. And when I'm using that 10 gigabit Ethernet connection, I'm able to fully saturate the available bandwidth that I have when connecting back to my router. So here are my thoughts on the Echo 21 Thunderbolt 5 SuperDock. It obviously provides you with a lot more bandwidth and a lot more headroom thanks to Thunderbolt 5 connectivity. It's very similar to the Thunderbolt 4 SuperDock, but again, it provides you with the headroom to grow. And even if you don't yet have a Thunderbolt 5 enabled Mac, you'll notice immediate speed benefits when connected to a Thunderbolt 4 Mac as well. So ladies and gents, tell me, what dock do you currently use to connect to your Thunderbolt enabled Mac? Let me know down below in the comments section. Thanks for watching. This is Jeff Benjamin with 9to5Mac.